welcome to the Dental Handoff, my friends. I'm Dr. Kelly Tanner, your hostess of the Dental Handoff, and I have Dr. Gary Ratz with me. Gary, how's it going, my friend?
It's going well, Kelly. How are you?
I am good. I see you smiling all over Facebook, attending a Smile Source meeting, and um, what's been going on?
Yeah, just kind of a typical busy year trying to mix in the family stuff with the professional stuff. And, once the fall hits, there's a lot of travel. Um,
Yeah,
there's dental meetings all over the place come fall. So kind of busy in and out of the airports.
yeah. The summer is a little bit quiet.
Yeah, yes.
Usually.
Yeah.
But then fall and spring are like, "Huh, hold on to your hat," you know?
Yeah.
So, Gary, I always start the show with, "Why dentistry?" Did you choose that? Did it choose you?
I'm getting so old, I can't remember. It's a long time ago. Why dentistry? Well, in college, I was pre-med. The intention was to go to medical school. Um, Back in my day, um, medical school was pretty hard to get into. I don't know what it is now. Um, but the way it was starting to line up for me is to get into medical school, I'd probably have to do a year or two of grad work and just keep reapplying. Um, but I had 2 people in my life that really influenced me to look at dentistry. One was, I have an uncle who, is a surgeon, and he and I talked a lot. I'd spent time with him, going to the OR with him, and I was talking to him about, is it worth it to spend the time in grad school just to build up the grades and the resume to get into medical school? And, uh, he really encouraged me away from medicine,
Hmm,
um, because this is a long time ago, this is mid to late '80s. Uh, he was seeing what insurance was doing to medicine back then,
yeah.
um, and it actually chased him out of private practice, and he reenlisted in the Navy,
Oh,
uh,
wow.
in his mid-50s, because he loved doing surgery, but he hated dealing with insurance, so he went back in and reenlisted, to get his 20 years.
Hmm,
So it started me thinking, and, he just offhandedly suggested, "Why don't you look at dentistry? Because the prerequisites are the same." My mother worked for a dentist, so he and I went out to lunch one day, and I was talking to him about it, and he was, at the time, younger, recent grad, and we were talking about my grades and my resumes and my scores, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, you'll get in. Just why don't you do that?" So I thought, "Why not?" And, in talking to him and comparing his lifestyle to my uncle's lifestyle, it's like, dentistry is a whole lot better. My uncle would get up if he is on call, 2, 3, 4 times a week in the middle of the night to have to go into the ER. Uh, my
hmm.
mom's boss never went in after hours. He's like, "They'll be there tomorrow when I get there in the morning." So, that's kinda how I found dentistry, and then, uh, I got really lucky in that, uh, I applied to dental school, I got into dental school, and I got waitlisted. I grew up in Illinois, so I was gonna go to the University of Illinois, dental school. I did apply to a couple out of state schools. I got waitlisted at North Carolina. And 2 weeks before classes started, I get a letter from North Carolina. They've got a spot for me, so, uh, I bagged the University of Illinois, went out to Chapel Hill. And U of I may have been a great school for me, but, North Carolina was awesome. So I had a wonderful experience there, a lot of great friends, a lot of great instructors. So um, I really got off on the right foot because I was going to a really good school for me and ended up getting a lot of mentors early on in my career,
Mhm,
just at the school itself. So, um, yeah, that's kind of how I stumbled into dentistry.
mhm. So your mentors that were with you then, do you still connect with them now?
A couple of them, yeah, Facebook friends, and I'm old enough now; they've all retired, and they're
In those
enjoying their
phase?
retirement. Yeah, and I sit here and be jealous of them. Um, but yeah, I still keep in contact with them. They've gone from being mentors to friends, and so that yeah, that was a good part about school.
What do you think is, do you well, I guess a different question to ask is, how important do you think it is to find a mentor when you're out of school and even throughout your career?
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's really important to bounce ideas out off of to somebody to talk to when you have a bad day. I mean, it's a tough
Yeah,
job. Um, most of us, you you have the people that you work with, but they're not really your friends. And most of us dentists, we run our own practice. You don't have a peer in your day to day life.
yeah,
Just again, ideas, frustrations, challenges. You just don't have a lot of that. So,
yeah,
having a mentor of some sort, uh, somebody who's already been through what you've been through, or somebody who really likes doing those things you like doing. Whatever it is, dentistry we too often are put in silos,
mhm,
and just the everyday challenges. There's oftentimes nobody else to talk to about that in your office.
yeah,
So having, somebody else or somebody's else, to talk to is, uh, really, really helpful, and, especially now because we have all this digital access.
mhm.
When I started practice, there was no social media, we barely had the internet. We used to communicate by fax. God, I remember that.
Faxes were so awesome.
Fax was our email back in my day. So now that we have the ability to connect online, it's a lot easier, to find your groups and find your people. And, I got
Mhm,
a number of Facebook groups I belong to, that are kind of my people. And if I have a bad day, I can just reach out there, or if I need an idea, um, I can just pop it online and, I get 14 different answers from 13 different people.
that's right.
So, um, it's really a great time now in our field because we can say we have the ability to really stay a whole lot more connected than when I first started out so many years ago.
Yeah. And I find too, Gary, that even with hygienists, and I hear this from dentists and hygienists, and I mean, even assistants and office managers, where even though they do have their colleagues in the practice, is that sometimes they don't feel comfortable asking them questions because they feel like they should already know that. They feel less than or smaller by asking those questions with the people they work alongside of every day.
Yeah,
I think that's the power of having a mentor inside and outside of the office, but then, the larger question is to, what is your culture like in your practice where you feel like you can ask those questions to other folks?
yeah, yeah, and that's a challenge. And I've had a lot of employees over the years, and when you get an employee who's been in a bad culture and you bring them into your office, it's one of two things: either you're gonna find out real quick they were part of that bad culture, and you kinda have to get them out of there, or, you know, it's almost like we're rehabilitating people to get them to enjoy work again and to trust people again.
Yeah.
Um, and that could be really rewarding with the right people. Because I certainly see that, and, the bad thing about social media is there's so much focus on negativity, um, that you see these people, I see, you know, team members, previous team members, they kinda get poisoned by the stuff they're seeing on social media, and makes them negative when there's so many positive things that could be out there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and that's what I see, on the networks I'm part of. Um, if the group starts getting really negative, I get out of there because
Yeah.
I don't I don't need that. I can make up a lot of negative stuff in my own head. I don't need to hear everybody else's, dirty laundry. I want positive, what's going right, helping other people. And, um, the positive part of social media is finding those groups that stay positive.
Yeah, I
You know,
agree with that.
the negative ones are just, they're just poisoning. And I hate seeing that. And I hate getting drawn into it. Um, because there's so much good stuff out there.
Yeah, it's almost like well, a couple things on that. I wonder if those people are kinda like that in their day-to-day life
I'm
too.
sure.
Because you can choose to do bad all by yourself too. You can do that all day long, but
Yeah.
when you're choosing to be in a group like that, and I'm in some not your forums, maybe I am in some of your forums, but where it does start to go south, and there are some people in there in mind, we've all had it, where it's,
Mm.
"Hey, can we just, like, go beyond this? Let's get back to the question. Let's figure out how to do this," and that's why I think in those communities, it's so important to have those rules and to have those administrators and moderators be in there, and it's hard to kind of pull it back out, but I think the larger theme here is you gotta watch your mindset because, what your mind tells you is true, and if you're only seeing the negative in things, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah. Yep. No, absolutely agree with you. So, um, yeah, that there's there's certainly a lot of really positive groups out there, and if anybody's listening to this, if you're in a negative group, just get out of it
Yeah.
because there's so much good stuff out there. Find those good people.
It's what we call energy vampires.
Yes.
Just sucking your blood, leeching onto you. You don't need that. Figure
Hmm.
out who your tribe is. But,
Yep.
I think it starts with us, and then the folks who are in our practice, and who are we surrounding ourselves with in practice, outside of practice, and then even when you're logging onto the computer, what's coming up in your feed. And you can opt out, unsubscribe, and block and delete if you want it. I
Yep.
mean, this kinda goes to friends, family. If you're finding it's just like it's not that you're better than them, it's just that you're beyond it, you
Yeah.
know?
Agreed.
So, importance of having a mentor, find someone who's like you because I even find that sometimes when I go into offices, Gary, that sometimes it's the they don't know who I am and what I'm doing, and, "Oh, they brought this girl in here to do this," and I remember one time when a hygienist thought I was coming in to, have them sell perio, and I was like, "Do you feel like you need to sell perio?" And she's like, "No, but I just didn't wanna change my standards." I was like, "I would never let you compromise your standards. Let's
Well,
talk about what your standards are, and let's get excited about those." She started crying. But it's that change in how we encourage each other with that and how we show up because that energy is contagious within the practice, but if you're kinda shut down and not open to change or other people's ideas, we've always done it this way, and no one's being held accountable also in the practice, Gary, where, bad behavior is being rewarded, it's it perpetuates that.
yeah. Yep. Agreed.
And it's hard as a business owner, especially when I can't imagine what it's like to be a dentist and have all these teams of folks. I mean, you came here to change the world and to, change smiles and airways and all of those things. And then it's just like, well, they're bickering over what printer is working or whatever. And you're like, can we go beyond? It's just people stuff.
Yeah.
But how you're guiding you as the leader of the practice in that culture, how you're guiding them beyond that.
Yeah.
It's hard. I can't imagine how hard that must be.
It's challenging, for me, one of the biggest challenges is to stay on top of it with my team, because I have a tendency just, you know, I'm 2 days ahead, 2 weeks ahead, 2 years ahead, and I find myself sometimes losing focus on the moment
Yeah.
with the team, and, uh, I behave sometimes like I think they know what I'm thinking and where I'm going and what I wanna do when I'm not really communicating it real well with them, but it's been in my head for so long, um, that I think I said it and I didn't, and, I catch myself a lot, um, having to go back and communicating better with my team, what I need, what I'm gonna do, where my expectations are, um, and get back focused in the moment
Mhm.
as opposed to, being out there, where am I lecturing next? What planes do what plane tickets do I have to get? Um, I got a big case coming up in 2 weeks. I need to talk to the lab, and I'm out there and they need me here. And I'll catch myself, it's like, okay, today we're all coming in early. Let's get refocus. Um, because I have a great team, a bunch of wonderful personalities, but I don't currently have that one person that'll give me the reality check.
Mm,
Hey, we need you back here. They're all great because they're just trying to make me happy. Um, but I don't have that one, I've had off and on over the years, kind of that alpha dog that's like, okay, we need you back here and doing this today. So I'm at that point where I have to remind myself um, to stay focused on what has to happen today
yeah.
and not be thinking about things ahead.
Yeah, what's in front of you, that's I can see the challenge in that especially when you're traveling and you're running a business and you're lecturing and you're keeping up with all the things too, and part of that as well is I'm just thinking of this with a team is bringing because I know that you like to speak and you do speak on technology and all the newest, latest, greatest, and how to integrate it in. Like one of the topics that you speak on is like merging traditional cosmetic dentistry with the latest materials and technology. So how do you, too, Gary? As us as team members, we know we love you we love you. And you come home from these dental meetings and you're rolling something in there and you bring it in the box, it gets delivered, and you're like, "We're gonna use this today." And it's like, "What is this thing? What did you just buy?" So how do you get that how do you get the buy-in? Y I mean, we're all guilty of it, right? How do you
Yeah,
get the buy-in from your team?
yeah. The getting them to understand the why,
Mhm.
um, not just hand them the box. And I've been guilty of doing this before. Give them the box, give them the instructions, figure out how to use it. Tell me next week when I get back. I've done that a few times, but um, the way it really works is okay. We're bringing this in because this is going to make my life better, your life better, and or the patient's life better, the end result better, and helping them see why we're doing it. It's not just, oh, it's just another toy, and you know th- they need to see the benefit for them and the patient.
Mhm.
And if one or both is getting a benefit, then you get the buy-in.
Yeah.
But if they think it's just a new toy for me to goof around with or something to make their life harder, you're going to meet resistance. Um, when like years ago when we first started doing sleep, you know, uh, asking the hygienist to go deeper into the medical history to find out if sleep's an issue. You get the eye roll because it's like they don't have enough time to do what they're gonna do. Now I give them 5 minutes more, and depending on the patient who if they like to talk, it could be 10 minutes more,
Right.
to get the information that you're wanting to get. But, once they started to see we get these patients in and we help make them better and you see them healthier the next time, then they see the importance of it. With dental assistants and cosmetic dentistry, when I get a dental assistant that's not been in a cosmetic oriented practice, um, getting them to understand why we take more time to talk to these people and find out their goals and why we're going to scan them and why we're going to do a wax up and why there's this added work. Um, but once they see the results and the difference, that cosmetics can make for a lot of people, and they see the excitement in the patient, and how much better they look, and how much more fun work is when you're doing elective stuff that people
Yeah.
want to have done versus needed stuff, which, patients don't get terribly excited about. Um, then you get them to buy in. So when I bring in a new composite, okay, I want to try this. The assistants start to understand, oh, if that makes it better, the outcome for the patient will be better, the patient will be happier, my work gets more fun. Um, so, you know, eh, getting them to understand why we're bringing something in to get them to buy in. And once you've done it a few times, now they trust you.
Right. I was
The
just getting
team,
ready to say that. Yeah, they're like, "Oh, okay. This must be something
this
good."
might be fun like that was fun, and this is worth it. And patients will get better outcomes. Patients will be happier. Um, so anymore, um, with a team that's been with me for a significant period of time, they have a pretty good idea if I bring it in, I'm bringing it in for a reason, and it's probably going to make us better, make our patients happier.
Yeah, so then I think a key takeaway from this too is that when there is something that needs training, when it needs a certain cure time, when um, things like instituting, like checking your curing lights, what's the protocol with that? Who's in charge of that? And the trust factor that goes along with all of that coming together and them trusting you, you trusting them, and then just m- it, letting everyone be happy and seeing the difference that you're making in everyone's lives because the training piece of it is where I see it fail because it's the hey, here this is bronk and it ends up in the back of a drawer. It's like where did that go, or it's collecting dust as we know.
Yeah, yeah,
And you thought it was really important at the time, but there's people observe that as well. And there's no judgment. It's human nature to get busy and be like, "Oh, man, I forgot I had that. Let's try that today on
yeah,
our 3 o'clock patient."
right,
So,
right.
that training is so essential to bring it around to the team. So, Gary, do you with stuff when you started doing, sleep medicine, did you have the whole team go through training, or how did you approach that?
Yeah, yeah. When I made the decision that was going to happen, uh, yeah, I took everybody to a course. It was in St. Louis, which is good and bad. There's nothing exciting to do in St. Louis but go to class. So I don't know how excited the team was about that, but I kept everybody together. We went to class for 2 days. But yeah, when I made the decision we were going to do that, it's like, okay, we're all going, we're all going to spend 2 days and just understand the basics. Uh, then we're going to come back, figure out how we're going to make it work. Uh, but we definitely got really good buy in with that existing team. Now, that was 10, 12 years ago. So now, when I get a new person that comes in, I send that one person back to the same original course
Okay.
in the group we worked with. Um, am I allowed to say who it is?
Sure.
Okay. Hey. not advertising, I don't get anything from Sleep Group Solutions,
Okay.
a group out of Florida. I think they run a really good 2-day intro course. So I've just always sent new members of the team, go to that class. That'll kinda get you level to where the rest of us are, and then we build from there, and then depending on who wants to learn what, now we handpick different classes. Um, assistants are probably better going to this class, hygienists may be better going to this class.
Yeah.
The beauty of, um, sleep and dentistry is there's so much online now. I don't really have to send people off as often
Yeah.
as we used to. I can just pull up, well, go to this webinar, that webinar. There's another group I belong to that they've got a whole list, a library. Today we've got a slow day. I told one of my assistants, go watch those 2 classes. Um, so it's a lot easier now to get people up to speed
Yeah.
because we can get up online. But yeah, having everybody trained, and then the frustrating part is the dentist, his team members come and go. You know, making sure that the new people coming in, I don't wanna rely on my team 100% to train them, and that's, why I like, sending everybody back to the original place where we all learn, because then our baseline is kinda the same,
Yeah. Makes sense.
and then we all kinda start out here, and then we learn, depending on job description and who's doing what we kind of specialize our education on.
I think that's smart. I love that you're bringing everyone to that baseline, that it's a whole team approach, that it's not. I've been a member of a team or have onboarded new members of the team, and it's a 10 or 15-minute spiel of, "Hey, okay, so when you get down, you're gonna use this tablet, you're gonna ask the patient these questions, and the why is not behind it." It's like, "Well, why am I even doing this? Why is it?" I mean, I get that it's supposed to help the patient, but, like, that foundational training isn't there, and so it's not going to stick. The person, whoever it is not going to value it as much, and then it doesn't get coded, it doesn't get charged out, the patient doesn't. It's this whole cascading effect of the entire training
Yeah,
and level setting everyone.
yeah, yep.
I love that.
And it's worked well for us because a vast majority of new team members that I get don't have any background in that. Um, I mean, like 0.
Mm,
With cosmetic dentistry, at least a lot of new team members sort of have some kind of background,
right.
but sleep's a different animal. Um, so, the training part in that has really been way more important, um, than trying to go to sleep or developing our soft tissue programs, or when we started doing implants, team members, no matter where they're coming from, would have some background in that, but sleep is just like they don't
Yeah,
they typically don't know anything.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's where I found it was really important to get everybody on the same page
Mhm.
to start with, so,
Well, I think it would be exciting to join an office that's innovative like that, and I could grow with and into and learn more and challenge myself, but it's all about the culture of your practice and who you're bringing in, who you're hiring, and how you what lights everybody up, right?
yeah. Yeah, I rarely have gotten any pushback in, the 10 years since we started incorporating sleep. I've rarely gotten pushback from new team members. They're usually pretty excited to learn something different,
Yeah.
and yeah, it once you've seen it in action for a while and seen the real change it can make, maybe not for everybody, but for an awful lot of people, once you see them get healthier, happier, um, is it's really rewarding in a different way than doing cosmetics. Um, but you're making, somebody's healthier, they're gonna live longer, they're happier, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It really that's making
it's
a lifelong difference in a different way.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
thank you for sharing your insight on your journey,
yeah,
what it's like to train teams, your approach to that. mindset. You didn't even know you were talking about all that today, did you?
No, didn't.
It's just like, "Let's chat. Let's have a chat."
Fine. That's fine. Works for me. Made me think about what I do. I don't
Yeah, what you're doing that
probably
you don't s
unconsciously.
yeah, but also what you've learned and how far you've come. So, you guys, if you're interested in having, Dr. Radz out to speak to your group, he speaks about a variety of different topics, no prep veneers, different technology, different things with general dentistry. You can check out his speaker packet. You can contact him below. He's also a rare bird speaker at rarebirdspeakers.com, and, he would love to speak to your group. He's entertaining. He's
Maybe.
entertaining. He's edutaining, he's brilliant and connects with his audiences. So, Dr. Ratz, thank you so much for being on.
My pleasure, Kelly. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And for all the listeners out there, I always ask the favor to go on to Apple Podcast and give it a 5-star rating, give the Dental Handoff a 5-star rating. Go ahead and do it now. And if you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and press the like and subscribe button so you are notified when a new episode drops every Tuesday at 2 because you want to listen to it before you're tooth hurty, right? And go ahead and put a comment in the section so the algorithm knows to like recommend us and all the fun things. Thank you for everything that you do to touch and change people's lives every day. We will see you again next week. Thanks again, Dr. Ratz. Take care.